Welcome to our podcast. My name is Rishabh. You can call me Mac. Yeah. So right now, currently, I'm making this podcast with some of my friends, and we have two very special guests with us today. One is Noah. You all know Hadari. वो वाला नहीं हमारा अलग नोवा है नोवा फ्रॉम वेयर
पुणे bro.
पुणे नोवा फ्रॉम पुणे एंड डोले रोहित फ्रॉम वेयर पुणे रोहित ऑल्सो फ्रॉम पुणे
We have a lot of Pune crowd.
Bro, you're in Pune, this bastard, I don't know why he's asking this stupid question.
Because he is from Vidarbha, that's why.
Zalla Mela
मी विदर्भाचा
He owns some company, you know. कोई तो है
We
मेरे.
have one more guy. That's Kushal.
कुशल
He is also from Rajasthan.
Yeah.
Rajasthan.
From Pune only,
Gujarat
obviously. No, he's a Banya, bro. Rajasthan.
yeah तो we are 5 people
No, not we are. You're
Five.
telling about yourself.
yeah 5 people are they
From 5 people.
blend in bro देखो प्लान याद है ना अपना कुशल को बुला yeah so yeah we have 5 people right now on our podcast and we are going to talk about marine biology coral reefs and diving and more. I don't remember anything. So I didn't read that thing. What you asked me to read, I couldn't read it.
Okay. We found it at least somehow.
No. Yeah. So you can just start by telling like what was your like you did a master's in environmental science.
Yeah.
So you start off from there, like how you what did you study there,
Okay.
and then how did you
So I
reach
wanted-
diving?
I wanted to do marine bio, my master's in marine bio in University of Pondicherry. But they flunked me in bachelor's in the last semester for one
Wait,
subject.
you repeated it.
No. So the thing was, they flunked me in one
Yeah,
subject.
you get the asterisk thing and you pass.
No, they didn't pass, flunk. Full year gone.
Okay, then
Rechecking. So like that was a subject that I was like, fuck, like I've done well. So I put it on rechecking and all. So by that time I couldn't go for my masters because like you need a
Obviously.
passing certificate. So then like 3 months later, then rechecking, turns out that you haven't checked like 2 pages.
Okay.
then you took a gap, no?
Yeah, then I took a gap year. So in the gap year, like good thing I took a gap year. In the gap year I was traveling around. I did my like first solo trips and all of that. Like I went to Uttarakhand. Taught there, stayed there for a month and a half. So got some exposure and then I was like, then I started working in this place called Capita for a couple of months. And then I was like, fuck.
Capita too?
Yeah, bro. And I was like, fuck, I can't do this
Yeah.
shit.
Work for like how much salary?
2 months, bro.
Fuck.
But I was bro, I was...
Top performer.
Yeah, bro. Like, I got bonuses and shit from the first month only.
So the corporate really liked you.
Yeah,
They
it was
wanted you.
fucking good, man. But then I was looking for like master's degree. Like I was like, fuck, this is not gonna give me anything. Bachelor's not gonna give me anything. So masters. The master I wanted to do in wildlife. So the institute I'm working for, I applied for that, but it's very difficult. So the master's course is only 20 people, out of which 4 seats are there for open. So you can barely get in. Yes, struggle. So I was like, fuck.
But I remember you working in an NGO also for like a month or 2.
Yeah, that was in Uttarakhand.
Uttarakhand only.
Yeah. So I was working and teaching in an NGO after my bachelor's.
Which is also really, I
Yeah.
really wanted to do something like that.
What sort of an NGO that was?
It's like it's called ROSE. I forgot what it stands for. It's rural something of like it's a stay kind of a thing where they get people from all over wherever you want to go. Like you want to come there. There's this place called Kanda. It's in Bageshwar district in Uttarakhand. It's on the border of Nepal and China border of India. And like it's a Kumaon region. So over there, like there's very few people who teach. Like a lot of people who get educated over there. It's a very small town, so people just leave out. They want to go to the big city, maybe Dehradun, Delhi, and all, to get money because there's not much money over there.
Jobs, bro.
Yeah, no jobs. It's a small town, like tiniest village, and it's in the hills. So it's a struggle to go to the school also from the house. It's like you have to climb 2 mountains and reach the school.
Grandfather's story.
And the little kids are running, and like I'm panting halfway.
Yeah, bro.
Like, but then they need it. Like they need people, even bachelor students. Like you can teach 10, 12 kids, right? Like
look at social
yeah. Like you've got zoology. I used to teach zoology. I used to teach like
That's what
botany.
I enjoy.
Just giving them like some of my insights, what I can do like as a teacher to help them out. And I like teaching also. Apparently, like I'm still like doing some lectures and all these days. So it's pretty fun.
But yeah, once you become a scientist, you can hold on to the PhD students and everything.
Yeah, right now I'm
Once you're done with
doing
your-
lectures for masters and all. Like
That's good.
yeah, for environmental
Like
science.
guest lectures you have.
Yeah, guest lectures.
So do you have a PhD?
Mm-hmm. I'm
Not
applying for
yet.
my PhD next year. I think I'll go ahead with my PhD. Hopefully in 2 years I'll have one.
In 2 years.
Yeah, I have my data, so I've been working as a researcher here and there. So yeah,
2 years.
hopefully finding the right guide. Yeah, so that's why I like joined my masters. So yeah, wildlife WI I couldn't get into the Wildlife Institute of India. It was too difficult to get into. They have one course every 2 years, so it's even more difficult. Then I saw that there was a wildlife conservation action course that was happening in Bharati Vidyapeeth. So I applied for that, but it was full. So the professor suggested that like you can do environmental science and like do your dissertation on something related to wildlife. Until then, I was like just wildlife. I didn't know. I was thinking I'd probably be in a jungle or something. But then then we started having lectures. For the first month, we have to do everything on wildlife and this and that. So I met a few people who worked in marine. But marine work, like I haven't met a lot of people who do diving. In India at least, like the industry, research industry, and like people actually going down to collect samples is not a very common thing. So I'd say like right now there might be like maybe 50 to 100 researchers who actually dive. Out
Over
of
India.
which, yeah, in the entire country.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
less
there is
than
no
that.
awareness. You are like the first person I know who's
In
a diver and
my
doing it professionally.
college, I was the first person to like dive and collect data. So I'll get to that in a bit. So yeah, so very few researchers who dive, and even fewer pros, diving professionals. So I think there are only 2 professionals I know. Like that's me and one more my colleague who is a diving professional. Other than that, there'll be like recreational divers who are researchers. So yeah, I was doing that. I liked marine and all of that. So during my Diwali, I went to Andamans. I did my first course, open water course, and I loved it. So then I came back and I was like, I want to take a dissertation up that is gonna make me dive. So if I choose fish also,
So what
I'll have
was
to-
that in that first course?
First course, you learn how to dive up to a depth of 18 meters. You have to do 24 skills and a lot of different things. You have around 4 dives, 5 confined water dives, 4 open water dives. And the max depth would be 18 meters that you go to, and you'll certify to go up to 18 meters in the future. You have to do like random skills, like a lot of skills, like you remove your mask, you replace your mask underwater, You remove your regulator, you replace your regulator, you remove your entire kit, you replace it. You have to prepare for like the toughest, like at least for this is the basic level. So that's not the toughest, but
The worst case scenario.
yeah, like as a fun diver, if you face something, like you should be able to do it quickly. So they teach you how to do that. And yeah, so then I chose, like I was thinking, like I want my dissertation to be on something that will make me dive. So diving is a very expensive sport. Cost like 3,500 on a good discount for one dive with one tank. So
300, 500.
300, 500.
3,500.
3,500.
How long you can stay with one tank?
Depends on the breathing rate. Like how much air you consume.
You missed yesterday's
general.
episode, huh? Women are like fucking pro breathers, apparently.
Please check our
Shit, bro.
last video.
Yeah, depends on his lung capacity, body size, muscle ratio, muscle fat
Smoking
ratio.
habits.
Smoking, yeah, kind of. Because smoking, what happens is like, to be honest, like I think breathing underwater is like kind of like smoking, bro.
What is reference?
Because if you put your regulator on and you smoke, like you suck onto it's demand wall. So you suck onto it like you're smoking a air into your lungs and you're leaving out. If you do it like then like with your entire mouth you're consuming more air. So that's how your tank is gonna get over more quicker. So like
Makes sense.
I suggest this to like newbies that like if you're smokers then you consume air like you smoke a cigarette or like you suck on a straw.
Dig.
Experience for next topic.
Yeah.
No, but he said yesterday, what he said was like, all the divers are apparently smokers only. Like, most smoke.
Yeah, they do smoke. I like the people that I've met all over.
Smoking is injurious for health.
Yeah.
But like, breathing underwater is just like smoking, so.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, so smoke, breathe underwater.
and I don't suggest you smoke before you dive because you have carbon monoxide in your body. Then you get carbon monoxide poisoning.
Do whatever you do
Yeah.
after it.
Yeah, after it, do whatever the fuck you want to do, but not during. After it, also don't do exercise and all. These army people are crazy. This NIMAS, like National Institute of Mountaineering and Allied Sports. So it's under the Ministry of Defense. So my friend used to do courses for them. But they're all paramilitary, special forces people. Yeah? Before they go for the dive, the instructor is like, not the diving instructor, their boss is like, go warm up. So you're not supposed to warm up before a dive. They'll pick up boats and they'll start running here and there.
हम लोग हमारे से करेंगे bro.
Then they're like, okay, now we'll dive, they'll dive. After that also they'll start running around to warm up. So that's not really suggested and not the best, but then they do.
But do they do it for fun or like
No,
they
they've
have some
been-
tasks?
They've been told that, so they do that. Your commanding officer says, you do that, you do this, you do this.
These are military people.
Yeah. So you don't ask questions.
Follow them.
Yeah.
Otherwise you get more tasks to do.
Shit.
And you are working for?
So I'm working for the Wildlife Institute of India.
No, at that time.
No, that time I wasn't working for anybody. So I was studying, doing my masters. This was during my masters. First sem that I went out to Mandamans, came back. Then I thought like I'll choose my dissertation that makes me dive, allows me to dive. So I approached our director and all. He put me in touch with the PCCF of Maharashtra. That's like the head of forest department. See if there's a project or like if they have something going on because. I said corals, I want to work on corals because that is going to make me go down. If I work on fish, they'll be like catch the fish and get it and do the sampling. So working on corals, since they're Schedule 1 species, you can't break those. So coral research is usually done being underwater itself. So
What does this Schedule 1 mean?
schedules are levels of protections. According to the Wildlife Protection Act of India, it's a level of protection a species can get. So Schedule 1 species is the highest protected species. So suppose you get caught with a tiger, no? Like tiger bone,
Okay.
tiger tooth, whatever.
Anything related
Yeah,
to tiger.
Tiger. So
The reserved
that is
animals.
Schedule 1. So tiger is Schedule 1. So you're fucked for at
So
least
long.
7 to 10 years
Damn.
plus a fine. That's a jail term. So for corals also, if you have a piece of coral and you're caught at the forest department can book you and you can get jailed for up to 7 to 10 years
Yeah.
plus a fine.
You
So-
can say it's an endangered species. Like,
Yeah, it's a highly protected species.
So
with the
they
Indian law,
do check it regularly. Have you been in such a
Freelance,
situation?
no, they don't know what a coral is, so
wow.
so technically on paper it's all there. In Andaman, awareness is like not as much in the country about marine.
Yeah.
People don't know about it. I think in the last 4 years that I've been working, I can see the change. And people now know about like what marine is.
See, I'll give you the reason. Zindagi na milegi do baar.
That was before, no, that came up before, like
What before?
way before Z.
Yeah, but like
It took a while to buffer.
exactly. Yeah. People took their time, but like
Still-
eventually they're like सब करना है. अभी skydiving उड़ना चाहता हूँ, गिरना चाहता हूँ.
I think this started-
सिर्फ रुकना नहीं चाहता हूँ.
I think this started more with the lockdown. So post lockdown, people started becoming more adventurous. I saw like people just want to get.
This the work from home culture started,
Yeah.
and people eventually got the time and got
Money
the
to save.
luxury to work from anywhere.
Yeah. So they
So
started
working
getting
from
into
home
all
saves
sports.
a lot of money, bro. Traveling
Yeah.
money you save.
You're
And
saving a lot of time.
time too, yeah. You can think about yourself.
Where was I? So yeah, I went to the PCCF. I pitched him like that I'm a diver and all. Do you have something coming up? So he was like, there's this region Malvan where I need some studies done about coral reefs. He's planning to do some changes to the management. It's a protected area.
So this all coral reefs, they come under forest department.
Yeah.
They have nothing to do. It's like even the oceans come under forest department.
Yeah, so animals, right?
And
So it's an animal.
okay,
It comes under kingdom animal, yeah. And so do like fish, dolphins. Dolphins are also Schedule 1 species. Dugongs are Schedule 1 species.
okay.
And like a lot of sharks are not technically scheduled by the country, but they have like CITES protection, international protection from UN. So yeah. So then I chose to do that. I wrote a proposal. I got my funds and I started doing my fieldwork. Fieldwork was extensive. Like, kicked my ass. It was crazy because I was driving day in, day out. I'm diving. Maybe I'll go weekends. On Saturday I'll go. Sunday I'll dive. Monday I'm back in college for lectures. So
College in Pune.
yeah.
Kathraj.
Malvan to
Malvan to Pune.
Weekend
Pune,
Malvan plans.
Yeah, weekend one day Malvan plan. Sunday I'll go. Sunday morning I'll reach 6 o'clock. 8 o'clock I start diving. Till 3 o'clock I'm diving. I get out, pack up, wash up, pack up, back in the bus. 4 o'clock. Come to Pune 5 a.m. 8 a.m. lectures.
Fuck.
Yeah.
But it's fun traveling, and you're young and I like doing that. So I liked it so much that so I had my project was split into 2 parts, that is pre-monsoon, post-monsoon. So we have sampling types. So you need to get variables. So weather is a variable according to what season the coral cover could change, depend on exposure to the sun, bleaching, and different chemical parameters too. So
Okay.
pre-monsoon, post-monsoon, during the monsoons, I applied for a internship. So that was the best traveling. I started with I was working with this manta project. I don't know if you know about manta. So mantas are rays. They are the largest
Manta
rays. Manta rays are the largest rays in the world, the largest in size. And these are also protected by not by the Indian government, but
UN.
yeah, by UN. So
But are they Schedule 1? No.
So that's a problem, but we rarely have manta. So we were I was working with, so this organization called Wildlife Trust of India. It is collaborated with the Wildlife Crime Control Bureau. So this was more on an exploration to track down the trade of manta. So mantas are hunted like crazy.
For what?
For
But
their gills.
What?
For their gills.
Gills.
So they cut out the gills and it's sent to China for Chinese
Some
medicine.
medicine.
So I was working on that. One of the craziest trips that I've had throughout. So I did the entire coast of Maharashtra from Goa border, from Gujarat to Goa border, all along the coast. just hitchhiking here and there.
So you used to dive during that time?
No, there was monsoons that I did. So this was like, I was
Data
doing
collection.
interviews and I was like, getting in data on people, like, where they've seen it. Have they seen it over here? If it's seen, like, what is the price of the meat? Where do those gills go? So you see...
Undercover agent.
Yeah. I've been kicked out of
Investigate.
dogs. Yeah. I've been kicked out of dogs. Like, there's this dog, the Bombay dog is called Bhautsa Dhakka.
Bhautsa Dhakka.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
So there's a shark trader, major shark trader. I've been told about him and all. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna ask him because mantas, like, rays are a species of sharks. So it comes under shark, families of shark.
Fuck,
They're the
bro.
same family.
Like Kingdom,
Yeah,
Animalia,
family. Yeah, family
shark,
is Elasmobranchs.
Elasmobranchs.
Branchs.
Branks.
So they come under this Elasmobranchs. And so the shark trader. So I went around the the dock first, and I asked. So they were like, "Yeah, we know some people who like keep this, keep that." I'm like, "Cool."
So like, were you asking for like manta ray meat?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, मेरे को चाहिए bro. कितने का
Yeah,
किलो?
I don't mind. So like we had this, so we had funds and everything. You want to buy, you can make a purchase like immediately if you want to keep yourself like safe and all. So you just want to like say that you're a customer.
Nice, nice.
To put that stuff in. So
Then once you buy it, you have to eat it. No, it's
Not
it's compulsory.
really.
You got to like पका के खा ले.
no, I never bought it. Like
इतना नौबत नहीं आया.
yeah, I never bought it, but yeah, like then the shark trader came. He was like in the beginning, he was like, yeah, I do what you want, I give you. then he got I had a colleague with me. He was an intern. He joined in Bombay only, and then he started asking some more questions, like pinpointed questions that like tipped him off, and he was like, "Now fuck off, like, just get out of here." Then
मेरे को नहीं बेचने का तू निकल.
That's how it is.
Then what did you do? Is like मैं
Fuck
जा
off. Yeah, man.
मैं जा रहा हूँ. Fuck.
My job is to stay.
Like मैं देश के लिए इतना जान नहीं सकता.
No, like we have even now on my current project, we were told there's a lot of local opposition and all. So it's been very they'll come with koitas and all to cut you up. They've kicked out the head of forest department multiple times. He doesn't go there. So my first project, he told me, don't say that you're associated with the forest department or you'll have trouble. So yeah, with locals, but now I feel that now with the locals, once I got into the place, I've been working there for 4 years. The locals are now family to me.
Oh my god.
So and they are once you're in, they'll protect you also.
Now you are in their gang, bro. You're part of it now. But we had a very interesting conversation, and you were talking about plastic, and you told me how the fucking coral and all the marine is accepting the plastic, and they're fucking growing through it, bro. Microplastic and stuff, right?
Yeah, bro.
So we would love to hear some thoughts about that.
I just read about it. So
Yeah.
that's something in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. There's a big patch of garbage where all our garbage goes there from all over the world. And it's huge kilometers and kilometers.
Yeah, I think I've seen that
Okay,
video. It
yeah.
got viral recently.
Not recently, a year.
No,
or-
I've seen it recently.
Okay,
so I don't
okay.
know
They're for
how
a
old
while.
that photo is.
And awareness about it, it's just starting to come out because people are now know a little bit, okay, there's something like this also and plastic is harming. But technically, if you think of removing plastic, I've seen myself that life just grows on. It grows
So
on.
it
actually.
evolves.
Yeah, it evolves. So they've become fish over there also in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. There are researchers who are saying it's become a new ecosystem. So they'll come for shelter, they'll come to breed and all, because they just need shelter from bigger predatory fish.
Yeah, they need to basically they need to save their eggs and put somewhere
So that's all. For that, you can see large aggregation of fish, and there's a new fishing technique that I've seen now. This is being used by Kerala folks. That they tie up a lot of bottles, they throw it in the sea and sink it, and then they'll come 2 days later and they'll just scoop it out. They'll find a lot of fish, shit ton of fish.
Okay, in the bottles.
No, under the bottle.
Yeah, but you should drink also. You just
I know, bro. I drink.
fuck up. You just had one sip. You kept
Yeah,
on
so
talking. I think you forgot about like the beer.
Yeah, that's like assisting.
That is
It's like water.
what?
Not drink too much.
Yeah.
Too much too soon.
Too soon. Yeah. So plastic.
Yeah, bro. So it became it's become a ecosystem.
But it would have
crisis.
been different before that, no? So they had to change themselves.
Yeah, so you see microplastics in everything. To be honest, I'll tell you. I bet like the human body also. I've heard from doctors doctors that like are doing research on like microplastics, that there are microplastics in your body also. The thing is,
Even we are evolving.
suppose you open a packet of chips or you're doing something, there are so many tiny pieces that are just going inside. You don't even know that what's going in you. You open
Take
a
the
pack of
fucking
cigarette.
bomb, for example.
Yeah, you just like, how much is going inside? And microplastic, it's
Microplastic.
microscopic,
everywhere.
so you won't even see it now.
But it's not causing much harm. Like
It is. Plastic is not good for
That's
you.
what.
Yeah, obviously it is falling.
It is, but that's what we are evolving. We are like fucking plastic only.
Literally now, some people are full plastic only.
Bro.
Silicon.
That's so true, bro. Like, it's a fucking fake world.
Like everything is plastic job, bro. Full on space.
Everything, like you can
Yeah,
do
face
a
too,
fucking job on everything.
Yeah.
But you know what, from 1 July in Maharashtra, all plastics are banned now. No, any
Yeah, bro,
shopkeeper, no
recently
one
my
can
sister told me.
use plastic.
It has
Take
happened
money,
there's
before.
a grade of plastic.
But the amount of plastic will save, bro.
But now it's very serious. Now with the grocery shops and other people who are giving them,
No, they charge them like 5k, 7k. वो लोग बोल रहे कि भाई तुम घर से लेके आओ, हम लोग नहीं देंगे.
This guy was like on a debate with me. You have to buy 5 rupees वाला plastic.
वो plastic नहीं,
it is
कपड़े
कपड़े
का वो मिक्स वाला कुछ निकाला है.
क्या मैं बोला फुकट में देने को.
चीजें बोली बन गई छे.
मैं बोला तू मेरे को बोला क्यों नहीं कि प्लास्टिक लाने करके मैं लेके आया था.
गलती किसका है?
गलती तो मेरा नहीं है. फाक मुझसे फ्री में लेके आया.
ये हो गया असली दुकानदार है. शूट.
बट तो दुकानदार का ही ऐसा कर रहा है ब्रो.
तो उसको मैं बोला कि तू अभी देख ब्रो प्लास्टिक का जगह निकलता है उसको देने का तो नो.
इसके साथ आया था ना कुछ तो लाइक वो चिकन का भी थैली लेके घूम रहा है ना, तो पुलिस पकड़ रहा था. हाँ
कभी
लाइक आई थिंक ये लॉकडाउन के पहले पुणे में ब्रो.
अरे वो तभी हुआ था, बट बाद में वापस से रीनेट हो जाता है. अरे वो होता है हेलमेट जैसा है वो. हेलमेट में कितनी बार बंद करते हो.
कोई चीज सीरियस नहीं.
हाँ, हेलमेट तो सीधा नहीं बोलते ब्रो. पुणे के लोग नहीं पहनेंगे.
मर जाएंगे मर जाएंगे.
उनको कितना भी डेटा दिखाओ, इतने एक्सीडेंट हो रहे, इतने लोग मर रहे, हेड इंजरी नहीं यार. बट
हेलमेट कहाँ से आया?
बारिश में
ये लाइटर देना. लाइट चला.
लाइटर मेरे पास
आना जिस्ट.
पूरे कर रहा हूँ.
कोई तो हिट लिया अभी. मैंने तुम रची हो.
लेकिन मैं रखा उधर अपने तो मॉल
थोड़ा-
देखना उधर चूक.
अरे नहीं
Pause
चल रहा.
करते
दूसरा
थे.
लाइटर है. मारो.
चिल करते 5 मिनट.
नहीं
चिल करते 5 मिनट.
नहीं टेक सम ब्रेक. थोड़ा सा गला गीला कर ले.
थोड़ा गीला कर थोड़ा बियर पी.
नहीं पिया ब्रो.
अभी थोड़ा डोले को क्वेश्चन करना है. इधर फोकस कर दो.
हमारा दूसरा गेस्ट है हमारा
दूसरा गेस्ट है
डोले.
मिस्टर डोले.
जो नाखले का बचपन का फ्रेंड है. मिस्टर रोहित डोले.
बचपन का नहीं है वो, बड़े हो गए थे हम अभी.
टीनेजर थे ना.
टीनेजर्स थे. टीनेज
बाली उम्र.
नाबालिग it is bro.
17 खतरा ब्रो. ओके यार. सो डोले
तू बता
नहीं
तूने
अभी तो मतलब थोड़ा सा कैसे लग रहा? पहली बार आया पॉडकास्ट सुन रहा. हाउ डू यू फील? थोड़ा सा जज करके बता हम लोग को. हम लोग जज करेंगे.
फेमस तो नहीं हो रहे तो उसको कुछ फील नहीं हो रहा है. रिकॉर्डिंग है जो उसको उसका आवाज सुनने में प्रॉब्लम है.
वो तो बाद में पैसे देके सुनना पड़ेगा. हम लोग बहुत
हम वही डिस्कस कर रहे थे सब्सक्राइब करने का रूल बनाने का।
बट इतना जल्दी नहीं, पहले थोड़ा ऑडियंस लेके आने का, 1000 लोग हो गए तो फिर सोच सकते लगीच नहीं ब्रो। कैसे फ्री में भी लोग नहीं सुनते तो पैसे देते तो मतलब बाद में आएंगे। अरे बट कैसा लगा, थोड़ा लग रहा कि मे बी थोड़ा सा प्रोफेशनल मे बी।
हमने भी ट्राई किया था जब ये रूम पे थे तभी, मतलब सोचा था बहुत बार
किया नहीं
बट
था।
कभी किया नहीं था।
अभी नाखले के पास दुनिया भर का वैसे थॉट्स आते रहते। फिर एक दिन मेरे पास आया वो, मेरे को बोल रहा है कि पॉडकास्ट चालू करने का। मैं बोला करते हो, क्या प्रॉब्लम है। So that's how it started, and we've come to a name. I think everyone knows it. I think you also know.
I heard it.
Middle class mafia.
Yes.
What do you think about?
Yeah, I said it to him. It's a good name.
Is it?
Yeah. So we were discussing how weak the middle class.
Yeah, we had a
is
long
actually-
fucking discussion on the.
So Rohit, give us your thoughts about how the middle class spectrum looks like. Some insights. And before that, you tell us what do you do? Like what work do you do?
So basically,
Why do you do it?
I'm an engineer. Just like so
Yeah.
many people.
Yeah, Rohit, you're
Not so unique like marine researcher, but yeah.
So I think most of the people will relate to you.
Yeah, I think
Because like us
mostly
Indians,
the
bro.
metropolitan crowd.
Engineers.
Pune and Bangalore, Mumbai,
Mumbai
Delhi, Gurgaon.
सब आ जाता bro. Chennai.
Bro, Chennai people are like
No, but even Chennai
Yeah,
is a very
Chennai
developed
is a
city.
developed
So
city now.
engineers सब जगह है, मतलब वो सब लेकर आए हैं।
सब जगह इंजीनियर से करो।
अभी थोड़ा सा ट्रेंड चेंज हो गया है। जेनजी को इंजीनियरिंग में इंटरेस्ट नहीं है।
बहुत सारा देखा
जेनजी को बनना है इन्फ्लुएंसर।
नहीं इंजीनियरिंग में नहीं है बट अभी बस
Lateral.
कंप्यूटर आईटी एंड ईएनटीसी
Yeah, क्योंकि that's the future now.
yeah
IT.
because even mechanical everyone is doing getting into IT these days.
IT, exactly. That's the future and we could see it very evidently. अपने तरफ तभी कुछ नहीं था कि
So
oil and gas
इंजीनियरिंग में
sector-
अभी मेरे डैड भी है कॉलेज में तो उन्होंने बताया मुझे कि इंजीनियरिंग के क्या हुआ है बाकी के ब्रांच जो है ना उसमें कुछ एडमिशन ही नहीं हो रहे मतलब usually.
क्यों?
अभी मैकेनिकल
अभी 12th का admission
सिविल
चल रहा है
ओनली
ना।
रिच पीपल लाइक whose dad is already a builder.
No, even
Those
architecture
sort of
is a
people.
royal thing.
No, not architecture. I'm talking about civil engineering.
What is that?
Engineering.
अरे civil
In engineering there is
engineering
a
बनाते हैं।
stream.
सिविल इंजीनियरिंग, बिल्डिंग्स वगैरह बनाने का, रोड बनाने का,
Chemical engineering, mechanical engineering.
No, but civil, I thought it's like
Construction.
Architects are different.
Architecture
They
उसके
design
बाद-
the building,
building.
and the engineers are the one who make
Build
it.
the building.
Yeah, who build it.
So there is engineering degree in architecture as well.
Yeah. There is for every geology के लिए भी engineering की bro.
No,
नहीं,
it's
So
not.
architecture is
Architecture is a
Total 5 years
different.
different.
Yeah.
Architecture is design, bro. Like you just
Yeah,
design.
design the buildings,
But
design
I'm
structures.
very sure one of my friends did like engineering and architecture.
Yeah, you done engineering and architecture.
Engineering in architecture is what I'm saying.
very sure, very sure.
Yeah, very sure.
Okay.
But your laugh is not changing it. Doli's expression, maybe that could change.
देखो एक्सप्रेशन देखो
Doli
सब
did
लोग।
so might be more. Yeah, maybe
Yeah, but
he might
even
be
I
knowing
can
it better.
say जितना भी मैंने देखा है एडमिशंस के टाइम पे तो it was all like common branches,
Common
civil, electrical,
Yeah,
chemical.
yeah.
I did ENTC, electronics and telecommunications.
So how was that? It's not as
So
fucked up as
it's like mixed. Like you get to study the microprocessors and how their architecture is.
Okay.
Then the small electronics parts that we use. Then yeah, the laptops and everything. Then you have transistors. So you can see like now कितना वो प्रोसेसर का क्या रहता है वो पावर उसमें thousands and कितने तो ट्रांजिस्टर्स रहते हैं इतने से इस पे तो उसका डिजाइनिंग एंड एवरीथिंग
Electric
सो ऑल
circuit.
दो सॉर्ट ऑफ सब्जेक्ट्स वी हैड बट उसमें कुछ ऐसा ये नहीं था बहुत कुछ सीखने मिला ऐसा नहीं था बट बिकॉज इट इज़ टू टेक्निकल ऐसा मुझे लगा नहीं क्या. So you can't relate it with the
See the
actual
fucking knowledge that we got in college, it's fucking irrelevant and useless. Practical knowledge that we get, that is only
My
thing.
landlord, current landlord, he's also like, you know, this electronic engineer. He did it like 20 years ago. Now he's like, yeah, old guy, na?
He's like engineer sahab.
Yeah.
Engineer में
He left his job in Bombay and everything, working for like, you know, a company and everything. Now he's moved to like, you know, he's running an ice factory and all. But his house is like sustainable. So everything he does, he gets like, you know, so entire town won't have electricity, but our like house and his house will have electricity because of these inverters that he does. He's got solar panels everywhere that he set up, like, you know, full engineering knowledge he's using for day-to-day things. And his house, like big property he's got, is all sustainable. Anything happens, he does it.
Yeah, but the thing is,
To get a job. Yeah.
in India you don't have the
वो ये
jobs which are
jam हो
related to
गया
this
ना।
hardware issues and all.
Yeah.
So, for example,
इसको डालना उसमें।
there are factories of Intel and all of those chips and all.
Yeah.
So basically, the silicon, what do you say, the silicon factory or some silicon
Silicon
industries
Valley,
in the
Silicon Hoops.
Silicon Valley. उधर भी
Silicon Valley।
उधर भी हाँ.
सब
So
भूल गए डिप्रेशन आ गया लगा तो
अरे सिलिकॉन का तो कुछ तो और भी बोलते हैं यार.
Silicon.
वहाँ पे पूरा सिलिकॉन का
Silicon Valley bro, you got
Yeah,
that.
तो वैली हो या
सिलिकॉन वैली क्या सिलिकॉन वैली का क्या
तो वहाँ पे वो सब इंडस्ट्रीज है जो हार्डवेयर में डील करते हैं. सो व्हाट वी डू इन बैचलर्स इज यू जस्ट हैव दिस वन सब्जेक्ट्स एक इतने बड़े बड़े टॉपिक्स के लिए. सो तुझे अगर उसमें सीखना है ना प्रॉपरली, सो बेसिकली यू विल हैव टू स्टडी, नॉट स्टडी बट वर्क इन दैट फील्ड टू गेट दैट नॉलेज. अभी सॉफ्टवेयर का भी हमको इतना कुछ पढ़ाया नहीं था, बट व्हेन यू गेट इनटू द इंडस्ट्री
Yeah,
देन
practical
ओनली
knowledge.
विल गेट टू लर्न. बट इंडिया में वो सब के लिए फैक्ट्रीज बहुत कम है, स्कोप बहुत कम
True.
है. बिकॉज फैक्ट्रीज वो जो रहते हैं उनके लिए बेसिक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कॉस्ट, मतलब फैक्ट्री सेटअप करने का कॉस्ट लगता है. बट फॉर आईटी इंडस्ट्री यू डोंट नीड दैट, यू जस्ट
Yeah,
नीड
minimal cost.
हाँ, बस पीसीज है तुम्हारे पास, यू डेवलप अ सॉफ्टवेयर एंड देन
But that could be also one of the reasons कि अभी जो यूथ है वो आईटी में जा रहा है, क्योंकि अगर फैक्ट्रीज होते हैं, हम लोग हार्डवेयर को ज्यादा पुश करते तो मे बी यूथ ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट शो करता.
इंटरेस्ट होता, उसके लिए फंडिंग चाहिए. बीच में बोल रहे थे इधर होगा चाकन के उधर किधर, तो बोले इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स का ये बनेगा वो बनेगा, कुछ बना नहीं. उसके बाद तो पुणे में तो इतना छोटा सा, तुम्हें बोल रहा स्वारगेट के इधर एक ऐसा कॉलोनी जैसा है, वो कॉलोनी में पूरे सब छोटे छोटे इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स और ये इसके कंपनी इलेक्ट्रिकल एंड इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स के. हाँ, और बाकी मतलब बहुत छोटे स्केल पे चलता है ना कि उनका पे भी बहुत कम करते हैं.
Engineers का ये problem
Only the owner is the money.
Software and IT. Engineers like जैसे मैं पढ़ रहा था कुछ ये याद है नहीं, fun facts and all of this की lot of unemployment there की in the
हाँ, तो वही तो बेसिकली सब चल रहा है, वो बूम हो रहा है, आईटी हो रहा है, बाकी सब फील्ड्स में कुछ नहीं हो रहा है. तो जो भी है मैकेनिकल कर रहा है, सिविल कर रहा है, इलेक्ट्रिकल, सब बंदे एट द एंड आईटी में ही आ रहे हैं.
क्योंकि अभी मतलब लोग लेसन भी लर्न करते हैं ना, अभी इतने इंजीनियर्स हैं,
अरे तू
इतने
सोच
कॉलेज
ना,
में कितने कॉलेज
तू
इंजीनियर.
अगर मैकेनिकल इलेक्ट्रिकल इनके अगर तू बेसिक जॉब से स्टार्ट करेगा ना एकदम मिनिमल वेज वाले, तो उनका मतलब कितना रहता है पे, 10,000 15,000 वैसे इससे चालू होता है, वो स्टार्ट होता है. 15-20 मैक्स देंगे. देखो मैकेनिकल वाली कंपनीज
भी सही है, जो भी मतलब
मतलब बड़े वाली कंपनीज नहीं बोल रहा मैं, छोटे छोटे, लेकिन
जिधर देखो एक्सपीरियंस के लिए जाना पड़ेगा जॉब मार के.
But I think वो सब के लिए ना bro.
Yeah, that is
अरे
also
नहीं, बट
सबका
वही तो
industry
मैं
में-
वही डिफरेंस बता रहा हूँ. वही तो आईटी से स्टार्ट कर रहा है. आईटी के लिए मैंने जैसे कि 6 महीने मैंने वेट किया, मैंने कुछ नहीं, मैंने जॉब करता था पहले, मैंने वो छोड़ दिया, मैंने वो कोर्स किया और उसके बाद मुझे जॉब लगा. सो 30,000 तो आईटी में तुझे मिलता ही है अभी यूजुअली. 25-30 मिनिमम है अभी आईटी में देखा जाए तो. 30 तो मिनिमम आता ही है.
Like go with the 6 month experience, you get 25-30,000.
सो अगर देखो 15 मैकेनिकल से इलेक्ट्रिकल वैसे कोर फील्ड में अगर तुझे उतना ग्रो करना है, 15 से लेके 30 तक जाना है, वो देखो अगर 2-2 साल लग रहे हैं तो उससे अच्छा तू 6 महीने का आईटी का कोर्स कर ले और सीधा तू उतना जंप कर ले, और इंक्रीमेंट तो भाई बहुत ज़्यादा है अभी।
इट्स अ वर्ल्ड ऑफ आईटी ब्रो।
हाँ तो ग्रोथ, बाकी इसमें तू स्ट्रगल भी कर रहा है उतना, तो स्कोप भी कम मिल रहा है।
और कैसे आईटी में तेरे को ऑप्शन है, देखो क्या करने का।
हाँ मतलब बहुत सारे ऑप्शन है आईटी में अगर तू जाना चाहता है।
अभी ये भी अपन लेंगे, क्या बोलते हैं, डेटा हैंडलिंग या फिर
डेटा एनालिटिक्स।
डेटा एनालिटिक्स, वो भी फ्यूचर ही छे। अभी पूरा डेटा ऑनलाइन हो गया है।
फ्यूचर नहीं ब्रो, प्रेजेंट भी है अभी, यही चल रहा है।
प्रेजेंट में इतना अवेयरनेस नहीं है।
अरे तेरे डेटा के ऊपर तो सब चलता है अभी। तेरा डेटा गैदरिंग कब का शुरू हो चुका है, वो बस अब बढ़ते जा रहा है।
ये भी तो देखेगा ना, अभी मेरे फ्रेंड्स बोल या फिर नॉर्मली इतना कोई नहीं, 1-2 फ्रेंड्स जो डेटा नहीं किया एनालिस्ट। अभी वो अक्षय ने किया था, उसने इंजीनियरिंग किया ये अपना नॉलेज सिटी से। हाँ अभी वो कुवैत में है, तो उसने डेटा एनालिटिक्स क्या वर्ड है।
हाँ अभी वो स्पेसिफिक कोर्सेस आ गए उनके।
इंजीनियरिंग डिग्री पुणे में एक ही कॉलेज था जो देखो दे रहा था इंजीनियरिंग उसमें, तो उसने कहाँ से ढूंढ के निकाला।
एनालिटिक्स में इकोनॉमिक्स और इसके लोग भी जाते हैं बहुत सारे। स्टैटिस्टिक्स का
SQL वो सब।
SQL तो डेटा एनालिसिस करने के लिए लगता है। देखो
ये वो that is this ना language ना।
Yeah, so that is also needed. Like मैं देखा
use it to store the data. So there is structured data.
You could, but like you still need it. और मेरे दोस्त मतलब ऐसा क्लासेस वासे आके सीख रहे हैं, and फिर it will be a huge benefit जब इंटरव्यू देना चालू करेगा ना। So see.
अब देखो सवाल क्या पूछा था, तो फिर अब लेके आया।
तो तू क्या कर रहा है?
क्या था सवाल?
अभी सॉफ्टवेयर में कर रहा है।
हाँ तो मैं सॉफ्टवेयर में
इतना बोलना था मेरा हो गया।
तो क्या अभी सॉफ्टवेयर में
क्या करता है सॉफ्टवेयर में?
क्यों कर रहे हैं सॉफ्टवेयर में, किधर कर रहे हैं सॉफ्टवेयर में, कब कर रहे हैं सॉफ्टवेयर में,
ये सब अगले एपिसोड में।
वो 15 का 30 हो गया, फिर 30 का क्या हो गया आ गया, वो सब बता नहीं क्या बोलूं। हमारे ऑडियंस को सब ऐसे सच मांगता है, ऐसा कोई झूठा इन्फ्लुएंसर नहीं मांगता तुमको
That is the second question.
उनको चाहिए इन्फॉर्मेशन कितना मिलता है भाई।
हाँ ना ऐसा नहीं पूछ सकता। एटिकेट्स मैनर्स कुछ रहीस नहीं, ऐसा नहीं, उसको कंफर्टेबल रहेगा तो नहीं करने लगे बता रहा मैं। ठीक है बेशर्म है बट चिल कर, शांत कर बस। वो कंफर्टेबल है तो बता सकता है, जबरदस्ती नहीं है तो है क्या, कंसेंट में रहता कुछ
ये कंसेंट के बारे में लेक्चर वो दिन शादी में है ना, कुशल को फालतू का लेक्चर दिया। बोला छी, बोला नहीं क्या गे के लिए, वो बोला ये कुछ तो बोला गे, वो बोला छी, उसको बोला कि तू चीज क्या को बोला। कुशल की गाँव में
बात कर बोला
हाँ ना,
किसी और बात पे लेके बैठा क्यों, इसको लेके प्रॉब्लम क्या वो पता है, अननेचुरल का रहता है, एक फीलिंग है भाई, तो मैं नेचुरल नहीं रहता।
सब लोग सुनिए, कुशल बाबा इज टेलिंग द ट्रूथ। यस ब्रो, व्हाट
ये बात नहीं है ब्रो, जो सच है
रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है, सब सोच समझ के बोलते आगे नहीं यूज कर सकता इतना ही कहना चाहता था ये प्रॉब्लम
स्विच करना भी कम।
यार एक लैंग्वेज है तो मैं समझ नहीं सकता।
अभी तो बता रहा तो मैं सुनूं भी नहीं क्या, नाखले ऐसा बनूं
ना तू स्ट्रेट हो पाया ना तू गे हो पाएगा।
अभी मेरे ऊपर कैसे क्या आ गया, ये लोग क्या बात कर रहा था,
तेरी भी बात कर रहा है क्यों सर।
अभी मैं जाएगा बनिया लोग के ऊपर, देखो हट होएगा फिर, लेकिन नीचे मुंडी क्यों कर रहा है,
पर बनिया लोग पे है कुछ ज्यादा।
अरे तेरे पे आराम है, रुक ना तू क्या कुछ चिल कर रहा है।
अच्छा ये देखना, ये सब पे आएगा बेंचो, इसकी लेगा मेरी लेगा, क्या तू है क्या, ये गैंगस्टर है तू, गैंगस्टर है तू,
बड़े कर लिए हो गया।
गुंडा बन गया ना।
तेरे को खुद होके देने है तो मैं क्या करूँ? तेरे से तो बात भी नहीं कर रही। ले
यार ऐसे कौन बात करता है bro?
मैं
मतलब कोई
अन्ना
में दिया तो ले लेंगे वाला ये इससे अभी
Try कर सकते हो।
ट्राई कर अपना खुलासा कर डाला कि भाई जो भी फ्री में मिलेगा जैसा भी मिलेगा जिसका भी मिलेगा मिलेगा
फ्री की बात इसलिए हुई थी bro।
जो सारे जो मेरे लाइक देखने वाले सुनने वाले बताइयो मैं
और यहाँ पे डील्स हो रहे हैं।
मनी
फुकट में देने
ऑफिशियल बन जाता।
सॉल्व फुकट में देने तैयार नहीं है।
मैं लेने की बात चल, मैं कभी देने के लिए राजी नहीं है, दोनों राजी हो गए bro।
अगर वो पैसा दे रहा सामने से तो तू देने को तैयार है
इसी की बात चल रही है।
तू दे रहा है अभी, तू बता।
मेरी बात नहीं चल
अरे
रही
तू
तेरी चल रही
क्या बोलूं मैं इसके ऊपर अभी?
गुंडा बनने का ना लेना देना करना पड़ता थोड़ा
गुंडा सिर्फ देना लेना तेरे को करना पड़ेगा, है क्या? तैयारी है क्या जीत की?
मैं तेरे अगेंस्ट में तू तेरा देख मैं
मेरे को नहीं देखने का तेरा bro।
तू दिखा रहा तू रहा ना जी कितना गंदा आदमी है जो बोला था मेरे को मैं दिखा रहा करके मैं
तू देखने की बात कर रहा है बच्चे गंदा, तू तेरा देख नहीं देखने का, मेरे को ऐसा बोला मैं। तू बोल रहा तू तेरा देख मैं मेरा देखता।
छी यार
कीप इट योरसेल्फ।
ये मैं
और ये हमारे मरीन रिसर्चर एकदम चौंक गए।
मैंने एक कर दिया
बहुत कॉमन है ऑडियंस से
5 मिनट का ब्रेक
सियंगर
ये
बट वो भी हैबिचुएटेड है, वो हमारे साथ वो लोकल लोग ये सब करके
बस अभी गार्ड मारता है कॉन्स्टेंटली लेना देना तो रोज का है।
लेना देना। हाँ ना अंशु
गलत बात है लेकिन कुछ इंपॉर्टेंस है गेस्ट पे स्टाइल है
इतना मन से रिसर्च करके आए हैं। क्या
कभी पानी के अंदर गया
लेने देने की बात
तू मेरे आदमी
नो कमेंट्स ब्रो।
कोरल्स का क्या प्रोनाउन है?
ओरल नहीं करे लाइक अभी मैं कोरल भी आ रहा है
कोरल्स का क्या प्रोनाउन है? एट शी और दे।
Coral reefs, so we always use them as plural. So they when
दे
coral singular, coral. The coral. बस हो गया ना bro.
तू लेकिन एकदम क्लीनेस्ट वाटर में जाए इस टाइप पे
किसके वहाँ पे?
एकदम क्लीन वाटर
I've been.
and like did you experience lots of fishing and everything
Yeah, bro. Like this time, like my last dive only was visibility was like 40 meters, bro. So you can see like 40 meters here, 40 meters.
and down there is like way too chill
And
right
my depth was around 30, 34. It was a deep dive, so around 34 meters. Fuck, bro. While going, there's like jellies, small jellies, comb jellies. Then it's like empty pass, like there's nothing. Then you come down, there's a reef, and then you can see life at 34.
Which was the location?
Pondicherry, bro.
Sunday.
bro but once you go outside now bro somewhere like more than like Thailand or somewhere like that
I dived
then
in
you
Spain.
find watch beauty like that
I saw like in Spain. I saw what do you call it? Seahorses. Like I saw a seahorse like give birth, bro. Yeah. So a male gives a seahorse male carries the
baby.
yeah, and then like it's like it makes a jerking motion and like you can see the wing come out like little seahorse.
How big are they?
This one was like around this big, bro. For me.
Very small like seahorses.
No, man. This one was big.
अपने
The
Depends on
ones
the
of
अपने कॉलेज में भी
like
था
fucking this huge.
It depends on male, female.
कॉलेज में भी था
True.
वो लाइव दिखाया था उन्होंने स्टोर करके रखा था
मरा हुआ था ना वो तो।
Preserve.
ऑब्वियसली यहाँ पे क्या यहाँ पे तू छाप
That's like also Schedule 1 species. So before 1972, our college had it, so we can keep it. After that, you can't keep it.
so that's why we can keep it like the वाले क्या
We have a tiger also, bro, or a leopard or something, na?
लेपर्ड है ऊपर सब लोग टारगेट ब्रो दैट्स ऑल रियल
Yeah.
भी मतलब
zoology
college, like Wadias.
हमारा नाम बहुत
Wadias
expensive
is
था
old, na? So Wadias is 1936 or something. So it came
That
before
was-
the law. So before the law, only British times, na? People who have things like that became scheduled species. पहले से है, then you can keep it.
Okay.
After that, you can't keep stuff like that. So you can't have like a
Hanging.
leopard hanging on your this. Army places also, if you go to like I
It will be there.
was at AIPT or NDA, or if you've been in their like mess and all, you'll see a lot of like tigers and
which they hunted.
elephants. Yeah, like they're ancient institutes, so like they've got it from all over the country. Whatever they wanted. You see tiger skin like laying down also, bro.
You know that like tiger skin was very like people who are like pujaris and all, everyone they need that to like skin is tiger skin or deer skin where they can sit on and then they can puja, like they need a puja to do.
It's a very critical
So
topic.
half of the people are like hanging there on the mandir or something like that. तो वो भी एक बहुत साल उसके वजह से वो लोग बहुत ज़्यादा लाइन्स को मारने लगे थे क्योंकि पुजारीज also wanted, so they just wanted the skin.
Because like ये जो है ना British like hunting started with British, bro, like major hunting, like game hunting ना,
खाली
मजे के
क्या
लिए
ना,
मारने का
Russian
होता
में
देखा,
हाँ, उसके पहले भी होता था बनते
मजे के लिए
राजा
लोग करते, it's a rich thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't like for trade or anything.
Yeah,
it was just
it was like a
rich people's game, like,
symbol of like something
No,
like
you won't see a villager layman go and like hunt a tiger. He'll kill a tiger if the tiger attacks him, or you might hear stories like that. But like in those times, you don't think a villager
It was
will
a
go and
hobby
like,
and
just
stuff,
do
bro, hunting.
मजा करने के लिए I want to kill because that's a huge animal. And that time उधर population भी बहुत ज़्यादा था, bro. So like they're everywhere.
No, मतलब there are some tribes,
Tribes are allowed to hunt. They still do. Like northeastern tribes, I know they hunt birds. The Nagas have like this. Khasis also have. No, not the Khasis. The Garos have access to hunt. I met tribals from Andamans also. They are allowed to hunt. Wild boars also. All scheduled species. Like whatever they want for their survival, they can do that because they live an olden lifestyle. They don't live like us, no, bro. They depend on hunting. So they hunt for food. They don't hunt for game hunting.
but they hunt and they are good hunters.
Yeah, they're one of the best hunters, bro. These guys are like
These rich people, royal people hunting is like
guns and
it's
all.
guns and they bring on the dogs and everything.
Elephants, they
तो
all.
वो लोग हंटिंग ऐसा नहीं है कि एक बंदा जाएगा देखा मारा हो गया वैसा नहीं करते उसको किसी को तो ऐसा लाइक हंड्रेड्स ऑफ पीपल लाइक हंटिंग के लिए जा रहा ना तो 100-200 लोगों को लेके जाता साथ में एक टाइगर को मारने के लिए उसके साथ में
स्ट्रैटेजीज करते हैं वो काफी करते हैं
उसमें एलिफेंट्स भी लेके जा रहे साथ में वो लोग फिर उनके खुद के कुत्ते वित्ते लेके जा रहे मतलब अगर टाइगर वहाँ पे दिखा ना तो उसको पूरा सराउंड कर डालने का चारों तरफ से इधर से हाथी इधर से कुत्ते ये सब पूरा वो एरिया पूरा रेडियस
अभी वैसे ही करते हैं
और फिर जाके
टाइगर को नाक करने के लिए ट्रैंकुलाइज करने के लिए यही करना पड़ता
बट अभी इतने लोग नहीं लगते रह गए ना इतने लोग नहीं लगते रह गए अभी
नहीं लगते हैं bro like a lot of people लगते हैं and it's danger also like there are some videos on YouTube and all like where they're trying to knock the tiger because it's become a man eater so they want to maybe move it or like just like this it और वो tiger bro so महुवत है ऊपर like on the elephant
Yeah, I've seen that
tiger
video.
went on to directly one jump bro and he's in this grass elephant grass huge grass so you can't even see where it's coming from. So they're trying to track it. They've narrowed it down to like this huge area. That's a piece of
Talking about tiger.
Yeah. And they want to catch the tiger. Like it's a forest department trying to catch the tiger. They're trying to tranquilize it, not kill it. Trying to tranquilize it to relocate it and all. There were like some wildlife vets. They gave some lectures for us. They were telling us like it can also turn out like hunting, like this is kind of hunting only, but you're not killing it. It can also turn out like really bad really soon because you don't know it's not
bro, it's a wild animal.
it's a wild
You can't
animal.
like
Crazy.
fucking predict the
Most of our like
I know even with like our we had a orientation lecture like with the WI. There was somebody who came in like the dean, and he was telling us about like some researchers in the past, pehle ke directors, and this person worked amazing guy, this thing dead. This person this ऐसा किया dead. This person this is killed by elephant.
मैं जा रहा यार मेरे को नहीं करनी है सब.
But they are like like huge names scientists in the world, but like it can happen if even depends on stupidity also. One director like an IFS officer, he had this like, oh I'm a like big deal, I'll wait for the elephant, उसका shot लेगा, and he got trampled and he died. With rhinos.
ना वो डिस्कवरी पे भी था ना एक बंदा वो क्रोकोडाइल को क्या उसका नाम है
Steve Austin.
हाँ
Steve Irwin. Steve Irwin.
उसका
Steve Austin
बेटा भी अभी जीता है वो तो स्टीव ऑस्टिन था ऑस्टिन नाम कुछ तो पता था मेरे को उतना ही पता है तो उसका बेटा वो भी
Exactly,
हो
but,
जाता है bro, like मतलब हो सकता है bro, you're dealing with wildlife तो
कुछ भी हो सकता है. And he fucking knew everything bro, like कैसे किसको हैंडल करना है. भी फिश काटा और मर गया.
you're in nature. Fish, there was a stingray bro.
स्टिंगरे काटा उसको.
Stingray pierced his chest.
Fuck bro, स्टिंगरे मतलब ऐसे उसको बहुत नॉलेज रहेगा. स्टिंगरे is like not even a rare species like.
Yeah, stingray is commonly not.
वो अभी मैंने एक वीडियो देखा था यार इतना बड़ा था ना वो तो लार्जेस्ट कुछ तो मिला अभी कुछ तो वो वीडियो था
हाँ मतलब मैं भी पढ़ा वैसा फुल्ली का मॉन्स्टर्स बोल रहे हो उसको
बहुत बड़ा था यार
मछली का
ये स्टिंगरे
something even I heard like they found largest one.
Manta is the biggest like panda. What I
Maybe it could be it was some sort of ray only. He's a fellow.
it's like a bird, like
Yeah. I think that was a manta ray.
मेंटा रे नहीं पता है
Manta बड़े वाले जो रहते ना ऐसे वो ज्यादा रहते हैं manta ray. But they're almost the same. They look alike, no? Stingrays and manta ray, don't they?
Yeah, like technically they're flat and all of that.
Yeah.
Sting, but then the size is like massive.
Massive.
Mantas are huge.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Like how many what all meats have you eaten? You eat non-veg, right? You eat
Yeah,
meat.
bro.
So what all have you eaten so far?
Okay.
You can tell us, bro.
ये कुछ अलग लग रहा है. अलग लग रहा है.
तो pause करूँ क्या मैं फिर?
हाँ मैं बोलता
अलग ही केस कर रही
नहीं देखते
अरे वो
नवीन रिश्ते हैं.
रिकॉर्ड करते हैं. अगर कुछ ज्यादा हो गया तो फिर निकाल डालेंगे.
क्या बोल रहे हो
कौन सा मीट खाया है? बीफ तो खाया है ना. बीफ तो
yeah,
सब
that
खाते
is
हैं.
not the problem, bro. The other things are the problem.
हाँ बाकी no one cares bro. ये हिंदू लोग only care about beef.
No, it's not about people, bro. Like, just pause it and tell you.
उसको सब
यूनिक तो कुछ नहीं खाया यार वैसे तो
हो गया.
कुछ भी नहीं खाया यूनिक तूने क्या खाया बता
मैं ऐसा
Wild boar खा रहे हो?
What?
Wild boar.
not really bro. The wildest thing that I had was a rabbit.
तो पागल है.
भी नहीं खाया
Rabbit ने खाया bro.
Rabbit खाया मैं और सी फूड बहुत कुछ खा लिया. लॉबस्टर खाया, क्रैब खाया, झींगा.
लॉबस्टर किधर खाया
लॉबस्टर डैड ले गया था एक बार मेरे को, कभी खाया था होटल में.
पुणे में किधर मिलता है क्या
अरे बहुत सारे इधर जगह.
अच्छा जगह मतलब मिलता तो
5
रहेगा।
स्टार्स मेरे मतलब आप पैसा होटल मिला था तभी. बहुत छोटा था मैं 8-9 था.
अरे, तभी क्या बोल रहे हो?
अभी पिछले जगह में बताऊं क्या मैं.
फाइव स्टार
लॉबस्टर खाया तो खाया भाई.
Okay, ऐसा भी lobster like मिलता है ना bro? I thought ऐसा कुछ मिलता नहीं है.
नहीं मैं मतलब मैं मेरा बता रहा इतना वाइल्ड किया मैं इससे ज्यादा कुछ अभी.
Lobsters like बहुत सही रहता है.
Exactly.
बहुत tasty
क्या
like.
चाहिए तुम्हें?
Cigarette.
but as I said like I'm not into seafood like.
But like crustaceans like थोड़ा अलग है. So I like prawns also. I don't like seafood, but I love prawns.
prawns.
हाँ bro
Prawns है.
सही
I go like get
Juicy
like
prawns,
₹50,
all
₹100
made.
like
बना तो मस्त butter fried prawns and then with
Yeah.
हमारे evening
Nice.
every day.
मालवण में तो वो खाए
या ब्रो मतलब बहुत खाया ब्रो सिर्फ प्रॉन्स खाता मैं तो मेरे को ज़्यादा मच्छी पसंद नहीं है ब्रो
चखना
हाँ प्रॉन
ड्राई
सस्ता भी है ना ब्रो
मच्छी खाने
पोस्ट
बहुत
पे
मेहनत
रहना-
लगता है मच्छी खाने बहुत मेहनत लगता है
हाँ ब्रो
क्रैब भी इतना अच्छा लगता है बट बहुत मेहनत लगता है
इसके लिए
प्रॉन्स में कम मेहनत है
लॉबस्टर लाइक हमको ना ऐसे
प्रॉन्स में नहीं है कुछ नहीं है अभी तो निकाल के भी देते हो
हाँ रोज नचीला वाली लेके आए तो
हाँ।
कुछ नहीं बट तभी भी वैसे इसमें ये रहता
काला
काला हाँ वो निकालना पड़ता है
वो कर ही रहते ब्रो उनके सामने इधर से खरीदने का तो मालूम है ऐसा ब्रो इधर से देखो डीलर से खरीदने का नहीं तो तू डायरेक्ट बोट आ रहा तो पहचान रहेगा तो डायरेक्टली बोट से ले सकता है तो
वो थोड़ा सस्ता मिलता रहेगा
वो तो वो फ्री भी मिलता है ब्रो मेरे को एक बार ना वो बोला तभी ना मेरे टीम को खाना था फिश तो मैं बोला फिश लेने को जाता सुबह सुबह मैं गया वो बोट आ रहा था तो बोला मेरे को थोड़ा मच्छी दो कितनी तो मैं बोला कितना चाहिए तो बोला 10 चाहिए तो मैं फिर दिया उसने लिया बोला कितना हो गया बोला रख ना भाई क्योंकि उसका कैच ही लाइक ब्रो मतलब his catch will be like 2000 mackerels so he doesn't care about 10 and they're locals and they're very like bro they're very kind and loving they will be हाँ खाओ ना और पहचानते तो बोलते हाँ तू इसका है तो छोड़ खा और चाहिए बोल
पैसे वाले क्या करते हैं
तू मतलब जाके बताता है क्या फिर अभी लोगों को फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट से
क्या
तेरा क्या पोजीशन क्या है तेरा मतलब
मेरा पोजीशन प्रोजेक्ट फेलो
project fellow. Okay, so when you like go to these places, you introduce yourself as a forest से आया है,
फॉरेस्ट आया
forest से आया है, forest.
जंगली
W is a part of the Ministry of Environment.
मोगली है
So,
मोगली
like I'm not forest department. I'm not
Aquaman.
Yeah.
जेसन
I'm
मम्मा
like I'm fish in charge. So I'm in charge of
Aquaman.
Okay.
So I'm like I identify myself as a researcher only.
who pays you basically
Yeah.
Who pays me? Institute pays me. Like the government.
He's working for
government
WI
so government pays you
Yeah.
wildlife
Under which grant?
सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट है छोकरा
Under the Ministry of Environment, bro.
Wildlife ministry त्यांची
Ministry of Environment
कौन
Forest.
हेड कौन मालूम है तेरे
Javadekar was the last head.
कौन है सर बताओ
तू बता.
उसका फील्ड है उसको
I don't know. Man.
but I heard the environmental minister is like this guy
He got.
he's got an answer let's your कौन
किसका तो भी लड़का है
Oh yeah.
अच्छा और इतनी इन्फॉर्मेशन लिए क्या करेगा मैं
But that is no, bro. That is from Maharashtra. So Maharashtra का उद्धव का बेटा.
उधर ही चल
अभी नहीं है
That is Maharashtra. This is central.
this is all over India
Yeah, this is for
Dehradun.
Delhi.
Central
दिल्ली हो
environment.
Yeah. Ministry of Environment like for the country.
I don't know that I don't know some
central government
Yeah, government of India.
लूसी बर्डे
I don't know जरा क्या आंसर देते सीधी का इस्तेमाल करो जरा
क्या पूछने का बोल सीधे
बोल कुछ तेरा
आज बोल कि मेरे को तो पता क्या पूछने का
who is the environmental minister
जानने का
Who is the
चाहिए.
environmental
इंडिया का सेंट्रल लाइक इन्वायरमेंटल मिनिस्टर को
तू बता
I don't know. I know the last.
अरे आंसर नहीं पूछ रहा क्वेश्चन क्या पूछने का वो आता है ये लोग कुछ नहीं
सही पूछा है मैं और क्या
सेंट्रल
देखो
गवर्नमेंट
ये क्या करने जान के?
क्या करने का
बस ऐसे नॉलेज
उसको जानना है बोले तो जानना है अभी
अच्छा रुक मैं सीरियस
क्या
आवाज दे
वो
रहा
नहीं
है कोशिश कर लेना ए सीरी
ये सुनना पास में
पहले आप दोनों सीरी चालू हो गई
किसका दोनों
इसका भी चालू हो गया तेरा नहीं होगा तेरा वॉइस डिटेक्शन रहेगा
देख
इसका सबके साथ चालू हो जाएगा
पूछना इंडियन इन्वायरमेंटल मिनिस्टर
इंडियन एनवायरमेंटल मिनिस्टर ऐसा कुछ है क्या पोस्ट मेरे को तो नहीं लगता
ऐसा पोस्ट है ना तो वैसे पोस्ट रहेगा और क्या पोस्ट
क्या पोस्ट है
Minister of Environment.
Words उल्टा बोले.
एक्टिव वॉइस पैसिव वॉइस
अभी तो इतना पूछ रहा तो ठीक है
भोसड़ी
मैं कुछ तो बोल ही देता हूँ अभी
जब मैं सीरी को आवाज दे रहा हूँ तो पूछ लेना उसको पास में नहीं बोला मैं दूर बैठ रहा हूँ
Minister of Environment, Forest,
Forest and
EFCC.
MOEF
Forest
CC.
And climate change.
Climate change.
climate change में
पूछ
समझा इस्तेमाल तो कर उसका इतना
सीधी को बताने का नहीं है तेरे फोन में ओके गूगल को बोला फोन में कंपटीशन एज उम्मीद थी तेरे फोन से
मैं ओके गूगल एक्टिविटीज नहीं करके रखता मैं बोलने
ऐसे
करके
यही उम्मीद थी
मेरी हर एक बात में उसको बिल्कुल नहीं सुनानी
एलेक्स से ले लो फिर एलेक्स को सुन
Amazon
अमेज़न के पास आ जाना भाई
ये तो Amazon करना छोड़ दिया
भाई
सब बातें ये गाना सुना था
हाँ
सब बातें तेरी ये सुना था डॉल्स Amazon पे
क्वेश्चन क्या बोलते हैं मुझे पता है
12 घंटे काम करते क्या बात कर रहा
लेकिन वो लॉ चालू हो गया ना इंडिया में भी 4 दिन काम करने का दिन में छुट्टी
हाँ बट अगर तू 12 घंटे काम कर रहा है तो तेरे को 40,000 कंप्लीट कर
कर
रही
देंगे
है
ना भाई 12 घंटे का
ये करने का ना
8 घंटे नहीं हो रहा है 12
अभी बोल रहा था 2 बजे के बाद
गवर्नमेंट बाद में डोले पहले कर चुका है चलो था ना उसने पहले प्रिविलेज 12 घंटे काम करने का 4 दिन 12 घंटे बहुत ज्यादा हो जाते हैं 4 दिन में भूसड़ा हो जाएगा फिर
अरे 12 घंटे खत्म होतेच नहीं ब्रो जल्दी
और तू उठ रहे तो वापस काम कर रहे हैं ये क्या हो गया विंसल
अरे मतलब हम लोग भर भर के टाइम पास करने फिर भी खत्म ही नहीं होता था
ऐसे नहीं है
दिन
भाई।
वाला तो होता था खत्म जल्दी बट ये रात का टाइम खत्म ही नहीं होता था
क्या शिफ्ट कर लेगा
7 to 7
अरे माँ छूट रहा 7 to 7
तो शाम से ही मतलब ऐसा
पहले 4 दिन
पूरा शाम रात तेरा चला गया खाली
पूरा पूरा मतलब देखना
सर्कल कंप्लीट हो रहा
अरे और एक सुनना
मॉर्निंग से 7 to 7 तो it's a
फिर तो
good-
लौट
तो था ना वैसे भी
हाँ वो बेस्ट
कैसा था 4 दिन मॉर्निंग 7 to 7
हाँ
फिर 4 दिन छुट्टी
हाँ
3 दिन ना दे आना
रात तक।
4
सात
दिन
दिन छुट्टी
4 दिन थे
ओह
देन
चलता
इवनिंग 7 to 7 मॉर्निंग 7
फिर वापस 4 दिन छुट्टी
हाँ फिर
वापस ऑल्टरनेट
तो
मॉर्निंग
वापस
इवनिंग
सुबह।
मॉर्निंग इवनिंग अरे उसमें तो और लग जाते हैं बॉडी तरह समझ ही नहीं पाता क्या हो रहा ब्रो
4 दिन
अरे वो पहले पहले अच्छा लगता है बहुत अच्छा लगता है वो
फिर सोचते तो 4 दिन करूँ क्या मैं
वो भी हो गया और तेरा बॉडी सोचता है जो अभी रात वाला शेड्यूल है मॉर्निंग वाला है नहीं क्या तू कॉन्स्टेंटली स्विच कर रहा नहीं क्या
हर 4 दिन के बाद कुछ ना कुछ हो रहा है लाइफ में कुछ डिसाइड किया कुछ बोला नहीं सीरीज नहीं
एनवायरमेंट मिनिस्टर ऑफ एनवायरमेंट फॉरेस्ट
तो मैं न्यूज देख रहा था मैं जो मार्च हो रहा है उद्धव ठाकरे की नहीं गया एक ना सीधा रिक्शा में चल रहा
हाँ
और उद्धव ठाकरे पीछे से भाग रहा उसके पीछे नहीं गया साहब थामा नहीं गया माला पर और फिर वहाँ पे वो लोग उसको लात मार के निकल जाते वो पहुंचता सीट के ऊपर फिर उधर वो अपना फटना उसका कुर्सी उर्सी चलता कर बैठो फिर वो बोलते ठीक है बैठता और फिर बोलता कि नहीं क्या महाराष्ट्र से प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने का जो भी है, मतलब वो मराठी में बोला रहे मुख्यमंत्री हाँ मुख्यमंत्री
एक मैच ऐसा
झुकेगा नहीं क्या
फ्लावर समझा था
मतलब जिसकी सत्ता उसके ऊपर लगे जो हमसे दो लोग नहीं का कॉन्फिडेंस में आ जाता है यही चलो इसकी चाटने का
चलो
बहुत भाव देते हैं लोग।
अभी उद्धव ठाकरे रहता
Power.
मुख्यमंत्री तो ऐसे से बना सकते थे क्या मार छोड़ दिया रहता उसने बट अभी हमसे कुछ नहीं कर सकता
गेम करता था तो उसको कुछ बिछाता नहीं है पर वो
एग्जैक्टली ये सब एडिट होने वाला बट नहीं करते पॉलिटिक्स की बात
पॉलिटिक्स
मिडिल क्लास लोग तो ये सब नहीं करते वोट नहीं करते
अरे मिडिल क्लास लोग इतना बड़बड़ देते रहते हैं भाई
इसको करेंगे उसको ही आना मांगता है ये वो लगा लसन पर
मेरी
वोट
फैमिली में ही ले पूरा मतलब वही बातें चलते रहते हैं नहीं क्या एकदम जैसे कि बहुत
ब्रो ये तो बात है मिडिल क्लास माफिया की
माफी मांगना पड़ेगा तेरे को बाद में ये सब के लिए
कौन आने वाला इसमें?
वायरल हो गया तू पैसे कमाएगा और फिर ये सब भी झेलना पड़ेगा।
अरे एक कमेंट 4-4 साल के पहले के अपनी लंच गाना मारते सुनते हैं क्या तू झूठ नहीं बोल रहा
अरे
है?
चार किधर ले रहा तू, जितना पीछे रिकॉर्ड जा सकता है उतना।
और
On
मजाक में
record
मत ले,
जितना है।
मिडिल क्लास माफिया बीफिया ये लौड़ा लोग सुन रहे हैं, राजा इतना छूते हैं यार।
अगर लाइव गया है तो हो गया।
पॉलिटिक्स नहीं, जिधर ऐसा ये हो जाता ना, क्या बोलते हैं उसको, डिवाइड हो जाते लोग, ओपिनियन एकदम बहुत ज्यादा मैटर करता। अभी तो रिलीजन नहीं बोल सकता, पॉलिटिक्स में जो एकदम
सब बोल सकता।
चुप रहे आखिले का माना तो तेरा फिर
तेरा क्या पोजीशन है सोसाइटी?
तेरा बना मैट टॉक्स।
तो जब तक
ये famous हो जाता
रुपए
है।
नहीं कमा रहा तब तक कोई नहीं बोलेगा देखो। तो तू जब थोड़ा लाखों में ऐसा थोड़ा आना हो जाएगा।
ब्रो अभी देखो बोलता ना कुछ भी वायरल हो सकता, कुछ भी।
हाँ तो वही बोल रहा हूँ ना मैं।
अभी
तो
इसको-
अगर तू कमाने लग गया तो तेरा मैटर करेगा तू क्या बोल रहा है।
अभी समझ कमा रहा नहीं बट तभी वायरल हो गया, किसी गांड नहीं मार सकता।
अरे वायरल हो गया और कमाना में ऐसा कैसे होगा?
सोशल मीडिया है ना, डिजिटल प्रिंट छोड़ता है, ऐसा बोल के तू जो बोल रहा है अभी मेरी बात हो
अरे
गई ना।
मतलब वही ना कि
हाँ।
उसका सोसाइटी में पोजीशन ही नहीं है कुछ। अभी ये कॉलेज का स्टूडेंट है,
हाँ।
ये ना किसी को इन्फ्लुएंस कर रहा है ना कुछ कर रहा है, बट जब करेगा
हाँ
तब तेरा ये सब रिकॉर्ड तेरे अगेंस्ट यूज हो सकता है।
हो सकता, मैं अग्री,
बट जब तक करता नहीं है तब तक कुछ नहीं।
बट ऐसा नहीं है कि जब तक फेमस नहीं हो रहा तब तक मैटर नहीं करेगा। अगर समझ कुछ हो गया और वायरल हो गया, ये समझ ये ऐसा कुछ नहीं छूता
That
है।
is something होना, that is वो तो बोल रहे हैं हम लोग।
अरे समथिंग होना मतलब तू फ्यूचर के खौफ में जिएगा क्या तू? तो सिंपल वर्ड्स में
पॉडकास्ट
बता।
कर रहा तो आपने सामने डिस्कस नहीं कर रहा ब्रो। अगर तू समझ अपन अगर इसको कोई प्लेटफॉर्म पे डाल रहे तो विल हैव टू बी स्मार्ट। तुमने पहले बोला रिलीजियस टॉक्स नहीं, पॉलिटिकल नहीं।
अरे नहीं कब
Sensitive
बोला?
topic पे नहीं बोला, बोला देखो सुनता क्या नहीं
नहीं भी कुछ नहीं बोला।
अरे
यार भंड में ना देखो, ये भी बोला मैं भंड में तो
बात
रिकॉर्ड
है कि जय बोल रहा
कर नगरी भी किए थे।
अरे बात है कि जय
छूते हैं ना तो बच्चों। हाँ ना जरा भी प्रोफेशनल आदमी नहीं मादर चोट हंसने कैसे छूते गए।
वो अलग टॉपिक चेंज कर रहा तू।
अपना डिस्कशन हुआ था कि नहीं?
अपना रिलीजन और इसके ऊपर
अरे
से
वो
हुआ
छोड़,
था।
अपना डिस्कशन हुआ था कि नहीं कि तू भंड में नहीं
हाँ हुआ था ना।
तो फिर क्या है ये सब?
क्यों करता?
क्या है ये सब?
तू
किया
क्यों पूरा
अभी?
भी-
ठीक है किया अभी उसका
अरे
क्या?
किया तू छूते क्यों क्या पूछ रहा मैं? तू
माफी मांगता मैं सॉरी।
हंसते जा रहा कुछ नहीं कर
सॉरी बोल रहा ना अभी देखो और क्या मांगता? सॉरी
सीरियस ब्रो, आई एम टॉकिंग
Serious only, bro. I am serious.
करने गए तू ऐसा
No
बढ़ने से क्या बड़बड़ कर
bro,
रहा
see bro, I'm not saying कि I'm saying कि ये सब रहेगा. This is middle class mafia. Like all these things.
No, you talk me when like you're sober, bro.
No, bro.
Technically, no, it's not a good
Yeah,
idea
he's
to
dumb,
go to
bro.
get religion, to get any like
It's
जिसमें
not even practical this bit.
जिसमें कुछ controversy आएगा ना, like you're
See,
trying to
this
come
is
up
not-
ना bro.
ये लाइटर देना मेरे को।
See, it's not about controversy. Like
It is controversial, bro.
so, okay, let me put it this way.
So religion.
See,
is
I'm
not
talking to you.
controversial.
Okay, I'm talking to you. Now I asked you about your work. Then you told me about your work, about your research, all the things that you told me about. Then I asked you about your food. Okay.
Yeah.
Then you asked me to pause this thing. Like,
Yeah.
Don't record it.
Yeah.
So that part,
Yeah.
you agree? Do you agree that you are a middle class person?
Yeah.
In the economy.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. So the life that you are living,
Yeah.
that life, like some part of that life, you are not willing to share that part,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I don't want that filter in the
It's not
podcast.
because I don't want to share that part because it's middle class.
No, because it's
because they-
religious or for whatever reason.
Yeah, and I think it's a good idea to stay neutral on this. Like for you also, I'm telling.
No, bro, he's stoned right now. We had a discussion in this. Which
Because it's
I don't
not a
know
good
what he's
idea
trying
to bring
say.
in
We had a brief
religion.
discussion, bro.
No brief discussion. I don't remember anything.
You're dumb, bro. I don't know what to say now.
So यहाँ पे बात सीरियस होती है।
bro, like even like talking about genders and all of this, no? I'll say bring it and let people voice their opinion.
देख
Like,
बात ये है ना कि इससे क्या लग रहा है लोगों को क्या जज करेंगे उन्होंने कि ये तेरा अपब्रिंगिंग हो गया ये तेरा
अबे
जजमेंट
तो-
हो गया
bro, देखो
देखो ये रिकॉर्डिंग में बोल मेरे को ऐसे प्रूफ में मांगता है
हाँ, ये डॉल्स मेरा दोस्त ने ये हाथ से कट्टे हो गए ला
इकट्ठे हो गए
हाँ तो हाँ हम लोग मैं नोआ से बात कर रहा था कि वो एनवायरमेंटल लॉ के बारे मीन्स लाइक ही स्टडीड एनवायरमेंटल लॉ ऑल्सो ही नोज अबाउट
little bit, bro, yeah.
little bit about that and how it affects his work. And the question which I wanted to ask is when you migrate around like ये state से दूसरे state में जा रहा हो
हाँ,
तो you said कि you are like central government की तरफ से
yeah.
बट स्टेट्स का हर एक स्टेट का अलग अलग रिजर्व के लिए अलग अलग लॉज रहता है ना
Hey, bro, these are all under Wildlife Protection Act.
All.
So they have like all central for a sanctuary, for a national park to be actually commissioned and like to be called a national park, it has to go through the Supreme Court.
ओके
So it is the central decision of this is good. So the so like you know if a sanctuary is made up and all and like somebody decides okay we want this as a sanctuary, then it goes to the state board. The state board then takes it, appeals it to the central board, and then central board with the state board appeal it to the Supreme Court. Then you can have a sanctuary or a national park.
ओके
If you pause it, I can tell you something. So
विजुअल रिकॉर्ड करता ना ये लोग के फोटोज वीटोज खींचता ना कोरल के
yeah,
वो कैसे करता है वो कैसे
Camera.
करता है?
GoPro
camera लेके जाता हूँ bro, like underwater camera. GoPro नहीं use करता हूँ.
अच्छा
I use
waterproof camera
Canon W300 and like Nikon के cameras है कुछ. And I've used
which are way too
DSLRs.
expensive right
Like
30-40,000
50 grand or something you'll get. TG.
that is expensive too right
Yeah.
middle class लोग हैं very middle class में
Funding bro, funding.
फंडिंग
नहीं बट यूजुअली वो रहते ही
Government funds ही होगा बहुत।
अरे मतलब 50 तो बहुत बेसिक होगा उसके
हाँ,
लेंस की जितने
वही।
महंगे बेंचो
but that is yours then after you once you
It's a
नहीं,
project.
it's a project
प्रोजेक्ट तक
जब
सब
प्रोजेक्ट खत्म हो उसको वापस रिटर्न
Yeah,
करना
it's a forest department.
क्या
or
आई ऑब्वियसली
office.
रिटर्न करने का मदर चोद
ऐसा बोलेंगे ना पानी में शांग लेके
फोटो वोटो यूज नहीं कर सकते किसी
Can you say that like
So data collect करता हूँ तब I share the rights.
पीएचडी के लिए यूज कर
हाँ, I can use for my publication and all. उसके लिए यूज कर सकता हूँ. मैं Instagram पे भी पोस्ट कर सकता हूँ with shared rights.
Please can you tell us where our audience can find you on social media?
I don't know man, like just follow me. You can like hit me up directly on my Instagram. No obviously.
इंस्टाग्राम आईडी
No obviously.
वो डिस्क्रिप्शन में रहेगा
No under.
अरे डिस्क्रिप्शन में रहेगा वो
we'll provide you all the links in the description, that's fine. But you hopefully just go ahead, tell a bit about your website a bit more.
Yeah, like, if anybody wants to dive and like
Dive.
learn diving.
Yeah, or just like pick it as a hobby, weekend
as a
hobby.
Yeah.
You can
And start
prospect.
exploring the seas. We are a peninsula. India is a peninsula, so we've got sea all over. We got 2 islands. So I'm an instructor. You guys can like hit me up. I can teach you diving. You can travel as a travel. So it's not gonna be like just a diving thing. You can just do it wherever.
This is what our generation is about to travel.
And I know I've got contacts like all over the country, so and abroad. So if you want to go abroad or to Southeast Asia, that's also
वेयर इन महाराष्ट्र मालवण
Maharashtra, Malvan. No, like you want to dive anywhere, bro. That's cool.
Yeah,
I can take you.
good idea.
You say where you want to dive, we will dive.
International waters, you can go to Thailand.
You can go to Bali also.
Yeah,
I've got
that's
contacts
one of the
there.
finest, right?
Yeah, Southeast Asia is like beautiful.
लेकिन सब ट्रैवलिंग अलाउंस वगैरह सब देना पड़ेगा
Yeah, you have to pay for it.
मैं तो जाके बोलेगा खाना पीना सब तो तेरा देख पाए
लाइफ में सिर्फ एक ही चीज फ्री मिलता है लास्ट बेंच से बाकी सब के लिए
I'll
पैसा
teach. See, the thing is, I'll give you the experience. I'll teach you because I've been to these
लाइफ
places,
चेंजिंग
yeah.
एक्सपीरियंस
Because I've been traveling, so I can give you that experience. I know I can sort out everything for you and teach you diving. Like, teaching you diving is gonna cost you something, and you need to give time.
obviously.
You need to pay for whatever effort, like that is going into you. So
you want that, then you just go around. Otherwise, and you can dive anywhere, bro. Like,
Hey,
in the
Lucy
country,
Shah.
you would dive. Like,
Normally, how much does this cost?
normally, as in
Nothing.
usually it costs you.
Cheapest, like, which is the closest destination?
Closest
location for you?
destination would be right now from Pune is Malvan, bro. That is the closest place.
Shout out to Malwan.
I'm so Malvan.
West Malwan, Konkani people.
But yeah, like you've got Malvan, you've got Goa, you've got Netrani, Murudeshwar, you've got Kerala. Kerala has quarry diving. You've got Tamil Nadu. You've got Pondicherry, Odisha. You go on the coast, bro. You can dive in even Dwarka and or like in Gujarat also. And you've got Andamans. So it's your choice.
And you can arrange like everywhere, right?
Yeah, I've got friends, I've got contacts, like dive centers that I know over there,
Yeah.
different places. Because I work in different places.
So like generally all around India,
Yeah.
how much would it cost? Like let's say I want to go for the course.
Depends, like bro, like depends on the dive center that you're going. Bro, usually you go around.
So
like,
we are considering Malvan, let's say.
Malvan will cost you around the course. If you want to do the course, it will cost you around 30K to do the course.
And how
So
what
how
is the
long?
tenure? Yeah. How long it would be?
The course will be for 5 days. You will have like 5 confined water dives, 4 open water dives. Your confined water is done in the swimming pool. You're taught how to do a lot of skills, 24 skills that you do. Then your open water skills would be done in the sea, and your max depth would be 80 meters. So the next course is at 40 meters. We'll teach you different things. If you want to just try it out, it will cost you around 4.5K to just like, it's called
Try it once.
Discover Scuba Dive, where you're not taught, you're taught 5 skills and you're just taken for a dive. That's what most like tourists put up. That's a Discover Scuba Dive, because a dive master will take you, but you're not independent and you're not certified to dive. So you can't dive like by yourself.
So like
Exactly.
someone is like
So that
carrying you
person
around.
is with you all the time.
All the time.
He has to be, even after you're a certified diver, unless you're a professional diver or a self-reliant diver, you can't dive by yourself. You will always need a buddy.
So like when do I become independent?
Do a self-reliant course, bro.
Okay, after the license.
So you can do that.
Yeah, you can do that. Do an extra course and you're a self-reliant diver. So with self-reliant diving, like it's probably suggested after you're at least an advanced open water diver and plus a side mount diver or a twin tank diver, because you have to carry spare for everything. You have to carry a spare tank if your first tank fails. You have to carry a spare mask if the first mask fails, like your mask is gone. Carry spare everything. You carry spare torches, computers, because anything can fail and that is your responsibility because you're a self-reliant diver.